Hello there, this is James S. Crafty James 1978 responding to the second of 3 comments which I received on my flagged video Sex is Not the Enemy. This one from my friend and long-term subscriber Ella, 55Ella2007K. As always, the relevant links are all listed down in the underbar. I ask everyone to please subscribe to Ella's channel, and if you haven't seen my first response yet, I recommend that you please at the very least watch the introduction, because I explained everything therein, and I hate to repeat myself. But in any case, however, although once again I'm being forced to paraphrase Ella's comment, it focused on consent and warned me to beware of pornography in which the women involved were being exploited, because even if they gave their full informed consent, they could have been forced to participate in the pornography because of financial difficulties or what have you. No exploitation ever. As a result then, I'm responding to that comment, or rather to the message behind it, because it truly encapsulates the second classic argument against pornography based upon the unspoken assumption that sex is bad. Sex for money is worse. Men always manipulate women into sex by some means, i.e. all heterosexual sex is rape, seduction is when the rapist brings a bottle of wine, blah blah blah, and what sane woman would ever have sex for money on camera unless she was being compelled to do so in some way, shape, form or fashion? No stripper ever goes the extra mile in the VIP room unless she has been trafficked. Every woman who claims that she has willingly entered the sex industry has been indoctrinated. The self-righteous and patronizing condemnation. It burns! Men worldwide being compelled every day by financial hardship to join the military or take other equally dangerous and potentially life-threatening jobs? Not a problem. Are any anti-porn activists condemning the exploitation of men and transgendered women in the sex industry? People who receive a fraction of the money and are exposed to all of the same risks? No, because men are rotting animals who do it for free, and transsexuals are all whores and perverts anyway, so who honestly gives a fuck about them? Is there exploitation in the sex industry? Yes. Could most, if not all, of those problems be solved by giving equal legal rights and recognition to all sex workers? Hence the suggestion I made on my old channel about the possibility of a sex workers' union? Definitely. But in the meantime, though, I'm disgusted by the way that anti-porn activists only ever use exploited women in the sex industry as a propaganda tool, only supporting them if they leave the sex industry and become a willing poster child of the anti-porn movement, writing books and giving speeches about the horrific exploitation and calling for the entire industry to be shut down, because remember, that's the only thing that anti-porn activists truly care about. Simply telling the women who may indeed be compelled to appear in porn movies to pay the bills to stop doing it, and damning women who choose to stay in the sex industry and fight to improve it, trying to secure legal rights, decent pay and acceptance from society so that women who are compelled by financial hardship can leave and get another job without being condemned as diseased perverts, as sluts, whores and Holocaust deniers themselves. The words compulsion and exploitation can be thrown around far too easily and at the same time not be used when we choose not to apply them, insisting that it was the person's own decision, their own fault, or that they somehow deserved it. Indeed, this is the basis of all rape culture bullshit, because while a man or a woman demanding sex from a hitchhiker, otherwise he or she will leave them on a dirt road in the middle of the desert, is compulsion and exploitation, people have extended this to include asking women for coffee when you're together in a lift and hitting on a woman at a bar. Ethically then, in porn or otherwise, it all comes down to the intentions of the person making the offer. If he or she deliberately targets a person who can be compelled, manipulated or exploited, then it's exploitation. But beyond that, crying exploitation because you can't imagine choosing to do it yourself, and instead of trying to help the people in question, exploiting them as propaganda tools to serve your own agenda, is the very depths of arrogance and hypocrisy.